Hi friends, welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Caitlin. For those of you that are not new here, my face is happy that you're seeing it again. And I am barefaced again because my sister complimented me on the last video. She said I was pretty, so I'm gonna do it again, and because I live for compliments. We are gonna do 3 looks with the Natasha Denona palette today. I'm gonna do one look that I'm recreating from like one of Natasha Denona's looks that she did for the campaign for this palette, and then I'm gonna do like a really quick, easy, like throw on and go look for work, and then I don't know what the third look's gonna be. You'll find out with me as we venture down, maybe something in the middle, and I will give my full review of the palette. I think once I've done 3 looks, I should be able to give a pretty good idea of my feelings on the palette at the end of the video, and if that is something that you are interested in, then go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, also, if you are interested in reviews of like big brands like Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette reviews, you should subscribe. If you're interested in like some indie makeup reviews, you should also subscribe. I also test other palettes on my Instagram if I'm purchasing too many at once to try out on YouTube, so you should go follow me there, katelynhousemakeup, and eventually I will post on TikTok, but I'm not going to tell you to go do that. If you haven't already, please like this video and leave a comment down below on if you got this palette or not, because I'm curious. Okay, so I'm going to insert a picture of the Natasha Denona look we are recreating. So it's this very pretty like mauve look, and what I'm trying to decide, because obviously she's using Mantra on like the crease and outer corner, and then we have Breath kind of tapped over, and then she has Zeal as like a liner situation. But is that relief or calm? Like on the inner... Okay, so I think what I'm going to go with is relief, kind of in that inner crease, like up to the brow. So I'm going to use this Sonia Kashuk small eyeshadow brush. It's kind of like just like a little kind of flat, fluffy brush, and we're going to go in with the shade Relief. I'm just going to tap off any excess, and what I want to do is take this kind of like, oh, and I should say normally I prime with a pigmented base, but I primed with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer because my dog ate my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. I know that's like a joke because people are like, oh, my dog ate my homework. My dog actually ate my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base, and then I ran out of my NARS one this morning, so I'm waiting for a restock. And by restock I mean I purchased the Natasha Denona eyeshadow base and I'm waiting for it to arrive, which is tomorrow. But anyway, okay, so we're gonna take this sort of up like that. Is that what she did? Okay, so I feel like maybe took that a little bit further than she did, but it just sort of was like up and into the brow. And we're gonna ignore if I have any of my leftover eyeshadow on my eyes from earlier today. I just very haphazardly wiped it off before filming this so that I could have enough time to just get this video started, because I do want 3 looks before I upload it. And then we need to do the crease first with the shade Mantra, which I believe is her cream to matte formula. So we're gonna go in with my Sigma E47, the shader crease brush. It looks like that. It's kind of a more precise, like it's because it's smaller but still fluffy. I like to use this for the crease. We are gonna cut the crease eventually anyway, so I'm just gonna kind of like map out the shape of my eye, and then this green sort of goes right below the peach, and I'll clean up this bottom part so that it like is more of like a flick. Okay, and I think she has this kind of built up a little bit more maybe, and I want to bring it down low enough because she has it like definitely dip down and then wing out, so I want to make sure we're emulating that shape. We look maybe a little insane because I might have taken this, like I said, too far over, let's hope at like the end it all comes together. I don't know. So I will say the Natasha Denona cream to matte formula is probably my favorite eyeshadow formula from anyone. It's just one of my, I just like the way that it applies, I like the way that it blends. I find it easy to use. I know that some people don't like it, so I think it ends up just being kind of like a personal preference sort of thing. But if you find that you agree with other eyeshadow palettes, like the way that I have sort of felt about different palettes, if you find that we're kind of on the same page of what we like and don't like, then I think you would like these as well. These are not even. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my crease with what I don't know. Okay, I have this like Anastasia Beverly Hills primer that I think we have some like very bare minimum of it left. Hopefully it still works okay. And then I'm going to take, this is my Sigma cut crease brush, it's the E62, and I'm going to just dab, actually that was a lot, so I think I forgot that this eyeshadow primer a little goes a long way. I might have squeezed too much of this out. Okay, let's just take that off my hand, look up. Okay. So now I'm going to use this brush and blend out where that eyeshadow primer is. Okay, so my natural eye shape doesn't dip down like quite as much. So I don't think let me see. Yeah, she has more of like her bone structure kind of like dips down more for her eyes. So I sort of followed my own like natural eye structure. Well, I'm just feeling like more and more amazed by the talent that Natasha Denona has, because this look is a mess. Okay, so I think these are close enough, and then I'm just going to use this flat side of this MAC brush. This is like, it says 547 SE, but it's just a flat brush, and we're going in with the shade Breath, that like minty cream to matte shade. And we're just going to pat this puppy on. And I definitely used way too much of this eyeshadow base, or this eyeshadow base is way old. And so now it's kind of giving sort of a funky texture to my eyelids, but you live and you learn. Also, does anybody feel like Natasha Denona's kind of like the new ABH? I just feel like everybody's sort of, I mean, she's definitely more expensive than ABH, so she's not as like accessible as ABH. I shouldn't say that. ABH is still expensive at $45 an eyeshadow palette, but these midi-sized ones are $65, so you know what I'm saying? She's like slightly higher. But I just feel like people are into Natasha Denona and collecting her like they were ABH for a while. But then obviously ABH got a little sketchy. And they haven't released like an actual eyeshadow palette that's like new in so long. Like I don't even know. They went from having so many like back to back to back, and then they haven't released like any. It's kind of strange. Next, what I'm going to do is, this is like an angled eyeshadow brush. This is from Morphe. It's the M158. I'm going to go in with the shade Zeal, which is this like khaki green shade. And she has this as the liner. So I'm just going to create like a winged, ooh, and she has a slight, like they all go to the edge together, but there's definitely like a slight gap. Okay, this might not be an exact recreation, but we're getting it kind of close. I definitely like the way this like minty shade looks all over the lid. That's super pretty. I think oh, okay. I think what I might need to do is clean up clean up under here and create that shape and then come back in with this Zeal shade as the liner to sort of fix that up. But you know what? We're pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone. We're having an okay time. I am a little stressed. It's not the best time, but it's an okay time. And that's really all that matters, right? We're just messing around, playing with makeup. It's nothing too serious. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wipe underneath and then let's see if that helps us at all. Okay, that does help slightly. I feel like I have a better gauge of the shape, so I'm gonna go back in with Zeal to do this winged liner to just have it be a bit more like defined. Okay, so actually, I think this looks pretty, I'm pretty happy with this now. Look at me, I was being so dramatic earlier. And I really like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is do like super fast base makeup, everything, and then we'll come back. Well, let's see, what does she have going on the lower lash line? Oh, we have like a little bit of Zeal, it looks like, on the lower lash line. So we'll come back just to do that and then look at the final look. Okay, so quick rundown. I have the Melt Cream Blush Light in Lynx as my bronzer. I've obviously been enjoying that. And then we use the Melt Cream Blush Light in Polished. It's like this like pink coral, almost like a duochrome blush. I'm absolutely obsessed. This is the Danessa Myricks Dew Wet Morning Dew Highlight. You can tell it's dirty because I stick my grubby finger in there. But I am obsessed with this highlight as well. And then for the lip gloss, I actually used the Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jelly in Fire, and that's it. I didn't do lip liner or anything, just was kind of feeling a glossy moment. So going back to this picture, so I also put a like nude, what is it? ColourPop Honey Dude in my waterline. I think I still had some eyeliner in my waterline from earlier, but now we're taking the shade Zeal on that same Morphe eyeshadow brush, and we're just going to put this, I mean, she has it kind of smoked out pretty far. I think once I add the lower lash mascara, that should look pretty good. I am using a lighter foundation, and I didn't put, my skin looks a little interesting because I didn't put my Milk Hydro Grip Primer on, so this is just foundation on my skin, but I'm like literally just doing this look for this video and then wiping all of it off to go to sleep, so I didn't want to waste primer. I didn't want to waste like any of my good foundation, so I used a foundation shade that's I mean, maybe it actually matches. I'm like, it's too light for me, but actually it's the correct shade for my paleness. Anyways, I was just saying that my skin kind of looks like trash because I'm a believer in primer. Do you guys use primer for your face? If not, let me know down below. Because I definitely believe in the power of primer, and I feel like today, just like what's happening to my face right now is a good example of that. Okay, also, this eyelash is very precariously placed. I'm just gonna like take it off any minute now. Okay, so this is the first look. What do you guys think? Was I pretty close to Natasha? I mean, if I like relax my face, I definitely don't think I got quite as much of the like I think she like rounded more towards the front. So it's close though. And I really actually like, I might have liked this look better before I did the lower lash line. I maybe regret doing that. But overall, really like the first look. So let's go ahead and move on to the second one.
Hi, good morning. We are gonna do look number 2. I'm gonna be very quiet because some people in my house are still sleeping. So this is an ASMR tutorial. Just kidding. Okay, so we're gonna take this It brushes for Ulta. This is a crease brush. It is stained purple, but it's kind of like a flat, fluffy brush. And we're gonna go into the shade Calm. And I'm just gonna fluff that all over the lid and onto the crease. So now I'm taking a fluffier crease brush. This is the Morphe M158, and I'm going back in with Calm. But I just wanna, well, that was not a clean brush. Okay, I'm spraying a Morphe M224 brush. It's just a flat brush with MAC Fix Plus, and we're going in with the shade Yama. Okay, and I just kind of like slap that all over the lid. I'm going to take this Morphe M158. It's an angled eyeshadow brush, and we're going in with the shade Mindful. Okay, so that's like a warmer brown than I was picturing. Okay, so now we're going to go over where we just did Mindful with Seal, because I want more of that. I don't know. I thought this would be a darker brown for some reason. Actually, I think Seal looks better anyway because there's like a green to the duochrome, the shade Yama. And so having the green like undertone in the liner works better. So now I'm taking Seal under my eye with the same brush. Then I'm taking that It brush with Calm on it. Just gonna fluff that. And then let's get crazy and do the shade Breath on the inner corner. Okay, so I'm gonna go do mascara and then be right back. Okay, so this is the finished second look. What do you guys think of this look? A nice, easy look that has some color in it, but for those of you that don't want to be too crazy with the makeup that you wear, just in personal life or even to work, I think this is nice. So I'm really happy with it, and we will go ahead and move on to look number 3. Okay, so we are going to do look number 3. It's been a couple of days, so I'm planning on filming this look, editing, and getting the video up hopefully today, which is Saturday, or maybe tomorrow, Sunday. But I feel like everybody's done like the blue, like at least one blue look, and I really want to lean more into this like red side of the palette today, or like the really warm side of the palette. So that's what we're gonna do. So first we're gonna start with this Morphe M518 brush and the shade Relief. I'm just gonna pop that into the crease. The shade actually builds up like pretty pigmented compared to what's in the pan, so that's, I mean, I think that's nice. And similar to all Natasha's mattes that I've ever tried, it blends out pretty easily as well. And then we're gonna take the shade Vigor on this Morphe M433 brush. I actually don't wear red eyeshadow a ton. It's not really my favorite eyeshadow color to wear. I don't know why, but I was really excited to try this out. When I do wear red eyeshadow, I like it, but I just don't, for some reason, I just don't really gravitate towards it. Okay, now I'm gonna go back in with that initial Morphe brush that we used, but I'm not gonna put any more like shadow on it. I'm just gonna use it to blend the red and the
kind of, so Vigor and Relief together. Vigor, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna spray this ColourPop E3 brush with some MAC Fix Plus and go in with the shade Tranquil. I'm actually going to take that same brush, but I'm going to flip to the other side. And that's what we're going to use to put Aura. I really like how this Aura shade has kind of like, it like blends into the red. So nice, like the shade Vigor, it really, they pair well together. I feel like it just kind of gives like that seamless blend between Tranquil and Vigor. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with the Morphe M433 in the shade Vigor. I just tapped a little bit into the pan. I don't want to pick up too much. Just kind of want to build up Vigor a bit more because we lost some of it with the shimmery shades. Okay, I think that's gonna be it actually. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, do the rest of my face in some liner, and then we'll come back for the lower lash line. Okay, so now let's do the lower lash line. And I think we're just gonna do the shade Vigor on the same Morphe brush we used earlier, but I'm gonna try and keep it to the tip of the brush. And I'm just gonna work that underneath. Then I'm going to take this brush with a little bit, the same Morphe brush we used with Relief earlier, and I have a tiny bit of Relief on here. And I'm just going to blend all that out. There we go. Okay, so then for the inner corner, I think I'm going to go in with Luster, although it's kind of dark for an inner corner shade, but let's see. It's okay. All right, so let me put some lower lash line mascara on and then we'll be done. Okay, so this is the finished final look. What do you guys think? Which look was your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below, and then let's get into my thoughts on the palette. First of all, I've used it 3 times and look at the fingerprints. I like how mirrored this is, but I'm almost constantly wiping these palettes down because it bugs me how like dirty they get on the outside. But anyway, maybe that doesn't bother you. So I've used every shade except Balance, Flow, Equilibrium, and Sense. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've used the other 11 shades, which for 3 looks is not the best, but I kind of overlapped some. But anyway, overall, I like this palette. I think that her cream to powder formula works great, especially, so that's the shade Mindful, Mantra, Breath, and Calm. Those are all the cream to powder formulas, and then she has the creamy matte formulas with Balance, Vigor, Relief, and Zeal. I haven't used, like I said, Balance is the only one I haven't used yet. Yama is a very pretty, like, kind of soft duochrome, but really stunning on the eye. So yeah, I mean, overall I have positive feelings on this palette. It is $65, so I mean, and I don't know that this palette had like her best, that's not true. I feel like some of the shimmers in this palette were the standard Natasha Denona like shimmers, like they just reflect so pretty. Like just the way the light hits them, they just are stunning. Some of them I don't think are as like up to par with what she normally puts out. And then with the creamy, I mean the cream to powder, like I've said, I think I said it earlier in this video and I've said it every time she puts one of those in her palettes, the cream to powder formula from her is my favorite eyeshadow formula of all time. So the fact that this palette has 4 is like really exciting for me. I really am happy with it. I actually watched Teresa Is Dead's video on this, and she had pointed out how similar this was to the Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette, which was felt like a little bit of a clown because I actually do have that palette and I haven't used it that frequently, so I feel kind of silly having like almost the exact same color story and now a second palette. But anyways, overall, I really enjoyed using this palette. If it's a color story that you like and it's not a color story that you feel like you have, which you know, that's something you'll have to evaluate for yourself. I think you'll enjoy using it. I didn't have any issues with anything, but you know, it's as far as quality goes. But you know, if it's worth it to you, that's something that you'll have to decide for yourself. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already left a comment down below, I would really appreciate it. Do you have this palette? Are you going to buy this palette? Just let me know either way. And if you're not subscribed, I would highly recommend you do that before you go. We will have some more kind of new releases. I've ordered a lot of makeup lately, so we're gonna keep churning these out. And anyways, that is it from me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.